Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Much peace and blessings to all you sister Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, with charity. This is your brother Osh from the Great Millstone Miami Camp coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is going to be a quick, exhortation to the elect, and just some truth, okay? And Lord willing, it's edifying. And what I'm gonna call this lesson is, if you don't care, the Lord don't. If you don't care, the Lord don't. Okay, what I mean by that is, we have to be the most concerned when it comes to our own personal growth and development within this truth. Okay, when it comes to our edification, our building up, because that's what this thing of ours is all about. Waking up that's just 1%. That's the first 1% of your spiritual growth and development. And once we maintain 100% growth, that's when Yahweh Shai is going to deliver us. That's that 100%. That's when we out of here. Okay? So all the time in between 1% and 100%, of course, the Lord is the one that's increasing us. We can't be increased without going to the Lord for that spiritual blessing, that spiritual, Him pouring out the Spirit upon us, as it says in the scriptures. But we have to go to Him. You have to. We, speaking to myself first, have to be the ones to ask for, to pray, which means to beg for the Lord to actually increase us. When you're, of course, we have to look at this thing as, we have to look at this thing and compare it to which the scriptures already make tons of analogies of our spiritual growth and development and walk in this truth to the growth and development of a man from physical birth, from the womb to an adult, grown, fully grown man. You can look at the different stages of development in the human life cycle and compare it to the spiritual life cycle of ours. When you first come into the truth, that's you being born, and you, what happened? You're a newborn. You're a babe, as the scriptures say. You have need of milk and not strong meat, right? And of course, our apostles and elders and spiritual leaders, they're the ones feeding us. They're the ones, cultivating us, cultivating our minds. So when you're a babe, you don't fix your own food. You don't prepare your own meals, basically. Of course, when you're a baby, you just scream and cry, and next thing you know, you get a boob in your mouth. And you suck and drink, and you get nourished, and you don't really have, all the effort you putting in is sucking, right? But as you get older, once you learn to properly sit up and you get weaned, right? You transform from the boob, from the breast, till you start eating some solid foods, you know. You get a little piece of meat and you can chew it. You chew it a little bit, you can start, you know, now you can start eating and you can pick up the food yourself, you can feed yourself. You learn that hand-eye coordination, right? Your motor, what they call the part of the brain that's responsible for your motor functions, the front cerebral cortex, something like that, starts developing, right? So you now you getting a little more responsibility when it comes to your own spiritual growth and development. And then you get to a certain point where you can totally feed yourself. You just need a plate. You given the plate, right? And as you get older, eventually you start preparing your own meals. Once you become once you get to a certain age, you know, when I was about 10, 11, you know, even so, a lot of people before that, you start preparing your own meal. You learn how to fry an egg. And if you hungry, you go, or of course, if you got different things, you know, if you hungry, you go grab a snack or something yourself. So the point I'm making, Salakia, I know it's a long get to the point, but the point I'm making is, in this thing of ours and this truth, you gotta start feeding yourself. After a certain point, you have to be responsible. If you're hungry, you know your body, you know you need to eat. You gotta feed yourself. And if you don't care, then the Lord don't. If you don't care about growing and in wisdom and in faith, you know, of course, after a certain time you've been in this truth, you first come in this truth, the Lord gonna pour it on you. And it's, you know, yeah, growth is like in the gym, what they call newbie gains. You start working out in the gym, it's like if you really, you could be fucking around. Not even no proper form, you know. But the muscle just comes because that's what they call newbie gains. But after a certain while, you're not gonna make any more gains unless you actually really putting in effort. You actually learning proper technique, proper form. You're actually prioritizing your protein intake. You're actually prioritizing your rest and recovery, your sleep. Then you'll actually start getting real gains. And it takes time, right? Same thing with this truth. When you first come in, you're gonna increase quick, because that's how the spirit operates. It's like easy. But then after, you actually have to get on top of, you know, after that initial download the Lord gives, you have to, you know, once you start growing, now you're responsible for getting on top of your own head, really. If you want to continue growing and getting better, you have to want to be more wise. You have to want to be more disciplined. You have to want to be more knowledgeable concerning the scriptures. You have to want to be more on fire. You have to want to be more in order. You have to want to fear the Lord, have a greater fear of the Lord. You have to want to, you know, have the spirit of being on time all the time and being on point, being the best brother you can be. All these things take effort. You have to actually practice to have more faith. You actually have to practice to have more patience. And of course, you have to pray first and foremost for all these things. So let me get to the scriptures. That's enough talking. James 3 and Salakia. No. James 4 is what I want. James 4. Let me get to the point. James 4 and 3. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask. No, Salakia. James 4 and 2. Ye lust and have not. Ye kill and desire to have and cannot obtain. Ye fight in war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not. So basically, we can go about different ways and paths to try to obtain certain things, but the first step, the first path and only path is to go straight to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Going to the Father in the name of his Son, through his Son. And you ask for what you need. Verse 3, ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lust. So if you don't have something, ultimately it's because you're not asking the Lord for it. And we're talking about spiritual gifts right here. So if you're not increasing in the spirit, that means you're not asking the Lord to be increased in the spirit. So the Lord ain't going to increase you unless you ask for it. Meaning if you don't care, he don't care. The scriptures say, what? Let every man seek out his own salvation with fear and trembling. That's what, Philippians 2:12? Matter of fact, it may be more meat on that bone. Philippians 2, right? Or is it 1? Yeah, Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Meaning when you're alone, when you're by yourself, when you're not around, apostles and elders and camp leaders and officers and brothers over you and brothers under you, and when you're in your day-to-day, when you're by yourself, when you're in your room, when you're in your closet, when you're on the road, are you thinking about Yahweh Basham Shah? Are you desiring to be increased? Are you are you not entertained? Okay, which the word entertain means to be distracted. This truth should be your only focus, your primary focus. Because of course we have lives, and we're still in this prison. That's all it is, a prison. But now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So you gotta want this by yourself. Nobody gonna hold your hand. Nobody gonna, you could bring the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. The horse gotta want to drink the water. The horse, we have to want to live. The scriptures say, he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. This truth is life. This is real living. If you don't want to seek it and pursue it, I don't know what to tell you. And of course, we're talking to ourselves first. And I'm going to take it to James 1, and I ended off James 1 and verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally. So if you lack wisdom, which we all lack wisdom, because you always can have more of it, you can't have enough, right? We ain't on King Solomon level. So that means there's more wisdom to be obtained. But of course, when you first coming in this truth, you really lack wisdom, because you fresh, you new. And even years in, you still 4, 5, 6, 7 years, that's not much. You still lack wisdom. You still have room to grow. And it's really the 5, 6, 7 year time period where you really need to start getting on top of yourself. Because of course, the information is not as fresh anymore. It's not as new. So you have to actually dig too, because you pretty much learn everything that one needs to know, at first. So you just have to start digging and applying to start peeling back the layers, which takes effort, which takes time, and getting on top of yourself. But it must be done if you want to endure, if we want to last, right? That giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not. Meaning he ain't gonna curse you out. He ain't gonna be mad at you. Quite the opposite. He's gonna be happy. Shit. When King Solomon asked for wisdom, it pleased the Most High that he gave him wisdom, and he gave him carnal blessings that he'd know, all men we enjoy. Right? He gave him some pleasures too of this physical plane, riches, carnal riches, and women, and a splendid kingdom, right? But it starts with the wisdom. That's what it's all about. And if it's what you're really desiring more than anything, the Lord He gonna bless you. He gonna give it to you. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. You see that? So you gotta really want it. You gotta be eager to get it. Eager. You have to. The Lord knows if you really want it. If you really want it, you're gonna really ask for it. You're gonna really beg for it, which means to pray. You're not gonna be in the spirit of if it come, it come. I want it, but maybe he may not give it to me. You're not praying for it every day. You're not praying for it all the time. You're not meditating on it. If you are doing those things, he knows. And it shows. Okay? So there you go. If you don't care, the Lord don't. So that's pretty much it. Lord was edifying with that. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Until the next one, shalom.